Hello guys, welcome to Archetype Insights with me Sharon Dane. Today, um, I was just thinking, should I talk about this topic or just holding my heart and my patience with me, um, recapitalizing everything, what is happening in my world, and it's a it's a very surprising event which is really collapsing on me. Relationship, people, everything, and I thought like just to keep it with myself or probably write down a book maybe in the future or something about the pain and the situationship I've been going through. But I thought like before I could wave it off, just release a small video about the life of a single parent, and I think most of the people out there can resonate with me. So just stay tuned. It's with a lot of pain and with a lot of depth and experience, which I will be talking about my personal experiences, and I suppose no one should go through such severe experiences in life. Okay, so stay tuned. Welcome back. So the life of a single parent is definitely not easy. Um, we take it with pinch of salt as if we are bounded with these circumstances or situationship, which is not literally what we wanted, but then it's unfortunate and you cannot work it or you cannot do anything out of it. The marriage custom is all about an institution wherein two couples or two people, two souls live with each other till the end of their life, and it's a beautiful relationship. And when God gives you a child, a baby to be born out of that relationship, maybe for some reason or some purposes, it's a responsibility for both of them to be together and take and nurture the child. But when we both remain as independent, young, wanting to think about our life and our growth, our prosperity, the child gets nothing out of it. And it's such a misfortune for the child to be born in such family and in such I would say with such parents who definitely cannot give you a meal, one time meal together, or have a lot of tension, fear, and and projecting something different wherein it's not the truth actually. And or some of the parents leave the child with their grandparents, and if the grandparent turns to be nasty, domineering, and really not very caring and loving, it's worst impact onto the child. The child is completely in the world of misery, don't know whom to trust, don't know what is the reality, don't know what is a mother, don't know what is a father. However, when even any of the parent is in touch with the child and trying to tap the child's emotion a bit, will understand the child might be going with severe pain and wanted to be loud enough to ask for help but can't take the help. Well, I have seen in my life, like, I've been a single parent for over long years, unlike say my child is around now 17 years. So until now it's like a responsibility which I've been delivering as a single mom, with a lot of patience to behold, with a lot of pain to behold, because the world I was in was totally very competitive, and we need to be on top of the world. We need to be more talented, more educational, not knowing what our bank balance will look like, but we need to still project as if you are good enough to carry the role and the position. And the position comes with not a good job with good credibility or good support system. It comes with a lot of competition, comparison, and domineering bosses, colleagues, bitch biting colleagues, or and sometimes very nasty people to work with. And after all that, you think of getting your first paycheck from your workplace, and the first thing what you think about is to give it to your child for carrying for his maintenance purposes. And then when you give that first paycheck, or the maximum whatever you get it, the maximum amount to be paid to the child and for his growth and for his development, it's not even sufficient. But then we think we are later. The first priority goes to the child, and so do every dreams of us is holded with a lot of goodness, a lot of vitality. We could see, like I could see so many people getting involved with relationship, getting married. But unfortunately my heart says always to stay with the child, be with the child. What will happen? What if he will not accept? What if they turn him to be a really nasty person? And I was so unfortunate in the relationship sector that I never got anybody who could at least understand my pain, except I do remember there was one HR person who really saw my struggle when I was starting my career in HR. And I was working in his office as an employee, and he knew that she's keeping up with everything, potentially all. And when my performance was down, they put me into the PIP, like performance improvement plan. And I was so struggling hard to take care of the child from the daycare, and then studying for my examination, and then wanting to adjust for my work and performances. And there were bills to pay for. There was like my parents who have been totally dependent on me. I was going through so many stuff, and I was keeping up my cool and my patience. And the HR felt there's something missing in her, that she wanted to talk it out. And then he called me into the cabin. We had a lot of conversation, and he figured out, like, my god, she's doing a lot and she needs support. And I was working in the night, so my night sleep is gone. Evening, when I come back to my home, it was almost like, say, morning 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock, and then again to take a small nap quickly, and then snooze it off after 1 hour, and then just go and pick my baby from the daycare, and then bring him back, and then make his bathing and feed him and all that stuff. And when he cry a lot, it literally, you lose your patience. And then after all that, you again have to take a small nap, and then leave him back to the babysitter, and then come back home, then wait for the cab to arrive, and then go for the work. And then the whole night you have to be awake like an owl, understanding that your work matters a lot, and our focus was majorly client, so anything for the client. So it's like we have put a lot of effort. I'm not saying single parent fathers are not putting the effort. I've seen so many parents. I've seen one of the HR manager in one of my construction company. He was a single parent, and he lost his wife, unfortunately. It was a very unfortunate death of her, and he was really working hard to the core, and taking care of two kids all by himself. And he was extremely brilliant when it comes to his understanding, knowledge, and capability, and the patience. The shoulder was too stiff and tight, and he was a very responsible guy. And a one look, people admire him when he entered to the cabin. And I come to know about his child, who was sick and ill, got a schizophrenia, and got another boy who was studying really good, and still he doesn't have any hope. But then, from both of them, but he is doing extremely brilliant, more than a mother could be, cooking the food, taking care of the sick child, even making her feed the food, and taking her to the hospital, to the doctors. And I met him in psychiatric department when I saw him with his girl, and then I come to know he's a single parent and he's the only one for his girl, and it was such a major shock for me. So I would say, to some nasty couples who just, I'm not saying anything nasty, it's your choice of life, but to the couples who are involved with multiple relationship outside, when you leave behind your child, you need to have a stop and think about what the child's psyche is all about, what the state of the child is all about, how do the child see the world of security around him. For the child, the most important element of security is the mother and the father. And when the child is reaching to the puberty stage, becoming a teenager, he or she need the similar gender attention more than the opposite gender. It's obvious the opposite gender will have some kind of desires and different feelings and emotions together, but they would feel much more comfortable and much more open up when they will have a similar gender to talk to conversate to, and to share their feelings, and to understand that what should I do and how I should be. Because it's a very delicate time when the parents have to take the responsibility. So if it is a girl, a mother should be very close to the girl. If it is a boy, a father should be more close to the boy and make him really feel like a gentleman, and make him feel proud that he's doing good, even if he's not doing good. He should not listen to the outside influence, should not be with the bad peer groups. He should be with the right people, with the right clans, right friends, and all that pornographical movies. That's really not very good and healthy. There's a lot of teaching involved, sexual teaching, teaching of relationship patterns, teaching of friendship things, teaching of peer group influences, which group you should choose for in order to sustain in a good equilibrium of balancing act of between good and bad and evil, and evil and good godliness. So there's just so many delicate, sensitive time and period what single parents go through. In all this journey, the single parent who are left with no husband, and the child left with no father, or the opposite gender, a father left with no wife, or a daughter left with no father, or no mother, they both have to equally understand that the world see you in a different way. The world might laugh at you. The world might reject you. Oh, you're so poor, you're so petty. They bribe you, they torture you, they compete with you, they put you in all the shape or form that you should never rise in life. Hardly one person could give you a support and could say like, I'll listen, I will be there. you stay, or you work, or you be here, you feel comfortable, we're there for you, or I'm there for you. It's only one person, right? I would say with my personal experiences, my siblings gone wrong with me. They never supported. I'm like, even if they supported, it was very political move, very diplomatic move, that they want to have property. I've been out from the property in walls. I don't know whether I've been born as that child or not. So whatever I have got my world, my talent, my skills today, and I've been very independent in my life, that I never given up. I don't care how would my competitor feel about me, or how would my bosses feel about me, how would my colleagues feel about me. I've been always self-focused, and I always had the goal that whatever I'm focusing, my contribution goes to my child and his life, his future. And there are some nasty people who interfere between both of our relationship and command and dominate and put their own brains into the picture. Seriously speaking, it's so sickening. It's so sickening. I don't know why did I put up with all this drama and practices. But fairly speaking, I did my job quite decent enough. Then nobody will complain or nobody will pinpoint, because I always walked the path of the truth. I always did my job, despite there was time when I needed to get married. I was so frustrated in life that I need support. But every time I thought about my child, I thought like, no, I'll stay alone, I'll fight, or I will work hard. I'll focus on another dimension of education which can really help me and help my family. And despite of everything, when the child goes against you, they abuse you, they never listen to you when they grow up, you feel like the investment you've done is of no use. Ultimatum is you left alone in the world, and tomorrow when he will actually meet, girlfriend and or whatever the relationship is, he will hardly bother for whatever the effort we have put across for his life, and always will see as a complaining angle, always assume as if you are responsible for my life. You people never been there for me, so I'm going my way and don't even bother. This particular video is not to command on anything. It's absolutely to awaken the mind of the parents who think their world is everything. They have to look into the emotions of the child. Yes, of course you make money. Yes, of course you have partying and you go out, you have a night times, or you have every luxurious you offer to the child. But emotions you cannot buy from this world. Emotions are to be met with your presence. Understanding can only be accumulated with when you conversate, when you spend time. Like, I've never been with my child, very unfortunate, because I had to work, and every time I come to my home to spend time and moments with my child, there's a lot of quarrel with me and my mom doesn't want that kind of attention going away from her. There's a lot of possessiveness involved, a lot of domination involved, a lot of narcissistic behavior involved. And every time I walk away with sorrowfulness, and feel of like my baby is away from me and I want my child back. And wherever I go, I try to put my focus onto my work, and then there's a bunch of the people either pull for attention or either take you out with the wrong intention or have a malintention in their mind, or get the work done, the system work, whatever good things you put across, it's always been snatched and taken away from you. And even if you're doing good in your businesses, whatever, people think, ah, you're full enough, you're alone. Okay, like that property belongs to us, please just give it to us, right? And all this kind of stuff, it's such a sick society we are in. I do remember one call I took during my call center years, and that was this call wherein I have to make the customer agree for the Walmart gift card, and they just have to give their details, and I need to go verbatim with certain scripts and make them say yes, and then swipe their card, and they are getting their Walmart cards, right, for shopping purposes, so they can just go out there for shopping. But every time they shop, there was something build up, right? So that goes back to the collection activity. So anyways, along with the Walmart, they've been getting some kind of perks and some kind of other discount offers. And I took this call with a lady. It was Californian state, and she was out there for the work. She was in the car, and then she took my call, and then I was like, I introduced myself, and then she said, you know what, I really wanted to take this offer from you. She listened to my call. She said yes, 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 yes to all my scripts, and as obvious. And then in the end, she's like, you know what, I really wanted to share about me. I don't know what I should do in these circumstances. I don't want to disappoint you. I really want this for my kids, but I'm a single mom with 4 kids, and I don't know how to manage my bills, and I've been working for 2 jobs at a time, or 2 to 3 jobs, and making my earning, and whatever I earn, it just goes to their maintenance purposes. So I don't have an extra amount to pay you. Is that okay if you can just pay me by free, and then we'll look into the matter to pay you back, whatever. But she wanted to take the service, and I allowed her to go with that kind of discount offers and other stuff. I don't recollect now, it's been like over 20 years back. But I do remember the way she was narrating her story and putting across to me. It's a woman can understand a woman's pain. So very true, right? But in my experience as a woman, is the most important people in my world, like my mom, my sister, my cousins, or luckily my granny is up in the heaven. She's watching this drama and practice, and she's feeling so sorry about it. But then, except her, all the womanhood, and even to the people I know staying in the neighbors, whatever, they all feel jealous, hatred, and I don't know, worldly competition. I feel like sick, man. I'm like, don't judge a people person with the cover, how they look. Know their struggle, know their pain. Know why they're silent, know why they are not interacting in this society. Know why they are being left alone. It's because they're being good in life. When you are a bitch, when you are like, someone who just enjoy with men and wanting to be around with a man, men will never leave them until, if you are very entertaining to the man and you have a good relationship, you're sexually pleasing to other person, men will always stay. But a woman who think about the family, intention on the education, competing in the business world or competing in the professional career, and thinking about when I can spend some time with my child, and my child is growing up, I don't know how to raise him up. I don't know what he's doing now. Is he having a girlfriend, and if he got with some kind of relationship turmoils? I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do, because my small baby is no more a small baby. He's a grown-up adult and a teenager who can actually think wise for himself. And I so know this world is so mean and materialistic that all the children will think about their benefit. They will not turn back to their Parents and girls are like, oh, you know what, you did a lot for me. It's my turn. Let me do it something for you. I would say, if you have such child, you're a blessed parent. Seriously, you're a blessed parent. But otherwise, most of them will think about what more you're gonna give it to me. I'm here as a child. It's your responsibility to feed me. You know what? I born in you, so take care of us. Um, the solution is a parent-child relationship is a beautiful relationship. I mean, it's a very divine relationship. It's a blessed relationship, and nobody should interfere in it. I would say no third party or neither any parents should interfere, or unlike any guardians should interfere in it. The most important part is understanding and knowing the part to be played in order to heal the emotions. Abandonment is a major possibility of child being raised by single parents, and that abandonment issue will always propel even till their teenage or till their adulthood. And when they reach to their adulthood, there's a lot of possibilities to get into addiction problems, into sexual crimes, into a lot many other crimes, and you know, angry outburst, and social, and being little antisocial. I would say not completely, but little antisocial. But a lot to do with aggression, a lot to do with emotions never been understood. So they outburst with aggression, anger, hostility, and temper tantrums, and ADHD problems. So it's very important that parents understand that it's good you have a partner, but that partnership cannot really fulfill the relationship of a child and a parent. It's a beautiful and a divine relationship, and it should be very sacred from out of this world. The more you understand your child, the more the love you give it to that child, the divine you become automatically. So, but when you have a boyfriend next to you or you have another girlfriend next to you, the child feel really odd and awkward. They don't express it out, but they feel like, is this the world we are living in? And even if it is a world of like my mother has a boyfriend or my father have a girlfriend, they don't know what I wanted. I wanted only both of them. I don't want another third party or another fourth party in the picture, because the children are possessive. That's how the baby are, they want only two people and not the third one. Even if you are separated, you have a different way to go, a different direction to live, and happily separated because of certain egos, some lifestyle, some career aspects, or any relationship issues. To be very honest, have at least a communication for the sake of the child's sanity, for the sake of the child's security, because otherwise the world is a deadly place, and to this point in time we are living in, it's really deadly, really dangerous place rather. And the child not only feel abandoned, but they feel really fearful and scared. What will happen with them? Are somebody gonna poison them? Are somebody gonna drug them? Is somebody gonna, shoot them? or take them into different terrorism, or into different aspects of social influences, which is really dark and there's no comeback, like sexual crimes or instigating young boys to enter into sexual relationships. So many parents we can observe in society today. So it's very important that both the parents understand that the God given you a soul for the love, a symbol of a love, and that's the child. When you respect the child, you see differences around you. You see that positivity happening in your world and surrounded to your environment, the way how people see you, the way the society believes in you, and the way the strength holds you up to be the powerful parent to protect their child and live for him. But when both the people are in different direction, child will get nothing out of it, and it's really difficult for the child to trust this world. I'm going to say truly and honestly, trusting the world. They might be in relationship with girlfriends or peer groups, but it's just abandoned feeling. It's very hollow and dark place where they exist in. So make sure that both the parents spend time with their child and be the most supreme powerful people upon their life journey. Because if you step back and rely on other people for your child's growth and development and for their child's future, they are not responsible for them. If the child understands that one of the parent has put a lot of effort for me, or both the parents have put a lot of effort for my upbringing, it's a responsibility of the child to be more obedient, understand the world is not your place to live in. At least this time, this generation world is not so safe. If you want it to be safe, ensure you listen to your parents. Understand that they matter for your growth, for your goodness, and for your safety, and for your security. They don't want anything in return from you. I realized the deepest emotion when I'm with my child, how much the child missed the moments with me, how much the child want the love from me. So I don't think so any third party could ever interfere and could nag their nose into it, because it's none of their business at all. The child is born in my womb, and the God was the supreme protector. The Spirit has given that child that soul inside me, just like the Mother Mary got the baby of Christ in her womb through the Holy Spirit. The world has nothing to do. If you cannot respect a woman as a woman, with understanding that she's not there to entertain anyone, she's a mother, she's a child, she's a girl, she's a sister, she's a lady out there to be respected who she is, and not to be taken for granted, for her strength, for her potential to stand strong, because she is standing strong. It's only and only for her child, and it's the child's responsibility to understand that when the mother is there, the world looks a better place to live in. But the moment the mother is gone, you know you have nothing. It's a very painful video from my end to all the single parent out there. The pain is so true and it's so deep. But with every pain, you understand that when you are with your child, there is a divine protection. Somebody protects you and something knows you. It's very important the child should get that attention only from two parents whom he calls as mother and the father, not father's girlfriend or mother's boyfriend. It's sad the society is changing. Can we relive again with the same old pattern of a familiar life which we have grown up watching our grandparents and our parents together until now? If so, then one life is saved, one family is saved, and all the outside influence and people who interferes in the family to break the family. Understand, what if someone breaks your family? You will feel the pain. So don't enter to the doorstep to break someone's home. The home is a blessing of God. If someone breaks it, someone else will break yours. And the one who protects somebody's home will always be blessed in all the aspect, because he understands what a home is all about. I lived for many people in life as an HR. I did my job to protect the employee, their growth, and sometimes when they are stuck with a salary, even for their family. So someone tried to deliberately hurt my home. I would say my deeds were being so strong to take care of others' family, others' bread and butter, somebody's skill and talent and growth and prosperity, that in front of me were just a dust and stay only as a dust. Don't enter to the place of the strength, to the place of a home who has been worshipped, cared and nurtured for years long. Because home belongs to the one who works hard for it, to protect it and to care for it. For the rest of the others, in just a show, don't instigate a show to go on onto a home which is breaking apart. Let's come together to protect one home at least, and you will see how God make you stronger. Because it's not a job of some wicked and weak people. It's a job of a courageous heart to come forward and protect a home, a child, and a mother. Until the next inside, this is me, Sharon Dane.